We're currently working on a commission with Exeter Cathedral. We are responding to a particular collection of objects that are in the archive here, which are wax votives. We're going to make a contemporary work that is a response to these archived objects. It's been fascinating to discover some of the history, not just within traditional Christian culture, but within lots of other faith communities where they use objects to give thanks or to ask for something to be done. And so what we really liked about it was there was this opportunity to make something with people. And so actually what we've decided to do is make what we're calling 1,000 thank yous. So this man's name is Musson.
And this is Jono, who I have worked with collaboratively since 2012 now. We were branded as heritage architects by a previous commissioner, and we didn't understand the title, but it turned out to be super accurate. We look at the heritage of a place or a group of people, and then we build something creative from it. Jono, would you like to pass me the wax votive sample?
I shall. Yes, Neil. Here you go.
This lady is beautiful. She is also remarkable. She is a votive. She's actually a copy, a replica of the only remaining complete figurative votive in the United Kingdom. And she would have been brought as a thank offering, or indeed a prayer, to the cathedral. Votives were common until the Reformation, when they were all got rid of, apart from a few in Exeter Cathedral that were hidden and survived, until in this lady's lifetime, a bomb dropped on the cathedral, 1942, and she was laying in the wreckage, which is incredible considering that she was a hollow wax structure made of beeswax.
And very brittle at that point.
We have used her really as an inspiration to create an artwork where we want to create 1,000 new votives, which are also on the subject of giving thanks, thinking of something that one is grateful for. So she represents really everything about our love of this history, but also the idea that it's timeless. Votives traditionally were suspended, so they were hung up from a string. And so we want to suspend the votives that we're making, possibly a bit like a swarm of bees, which have been very significant because we've had 160 million bees helping us to produce this
the
project.
material.
So Jono got in touch to explain that there was a project going on and could I help in any way. I think my reply to you got lost in your junk mail. Yeah. But then I met up with these two guys last summer to talk through what the plan was, what the ideas were for the project.
Do you remember that was before we'd even been interviewed?
Confirmed, yeah.
And it was on
you
the
were being
same
interviewed
day
that day,
interview,
weren't you?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we met with you just before
And we
that.
were really keen to make sure the materiality was locally sourced. That was important.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things I think is incredible is that the swarm that comes out is going to have to find a nest, a permanent site. That isn't what it's looking for. So it sends some scouts out, and scouts investigate all cavities, it measures them, it flies inside, that way, and it gets a measurement of volume. Okay? And it goes back and it tells the other workers what it's found. And if they like what they hear, they're going to investigate. The waggle dance is a way that workers do a figure of 8 in a certain direction relative to the sun, which informs the other workers watching the direction to go in and the distance being how far the figure of 8 is. Small figure of 8's close, large figure of 8's further away. They sample the food, the nectar, and make a decision on where they want to go. So for pollination, this is just what the nature wants. This is just what the farmer wants, because they're being directed to a particular source, and then they're loyal to that source, which means that They don't go from apple to dandelion, they go from apple tree to apple tree to apple tree, pollinating with them.
I collected lots of dirty beeswax, as you know, and had to clean it and filter it and prepare it for the project. So it was kind of little blocks of it stacked up on my kitchen island. It was a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah,
when you see it piled up. Because you had quite a lot, didn't you, of the really nice, what we would think of as premium beeswax, which is from cappings and light and a kind of more of a light fragrance of honey.
That's right.
To the very dark brood wax that's been in the hive for a good few years, seen through that whole life cycle really of the bee, and it's got all that fragrance that comes with it.
At the moment, we are in the middle of the production of the Votive, so that means that we're working with people. We need 1,000 people, and where we're at the moment is we have some blanks, if you like, that we've created so that people don't just start with a blob of wax. They start with
forms.
They start with a form.
Lots of people have made homes already, places that, not just house, but home, somewhere that's important to you. You know, one person apologises, I'm not an artist, I can't do this, but what they've made was a home, and they made a home because they've been homeless. And so the home is a really powerful symbol for them. For other people, a house is a lovely thing, but for that person, it was really very poignant because they'd known what it was to not have one. The key thing is that we encourage people to think about that idea and express it in a very beautiful and simple way.
We're here on holiday, so we came in to do a tour of the cathedral and stumbled across the workshop while we were walking around.
So I carved my brother, Isaac, that unfortunately I didn't really get to meet when I was born because he died before I was alive.
The idea of replicating something that was done so many hundreds of years ago it's just an experience we don't tend to have often in Australia, so it was a priceless experience in a beautiful location.
We love to work collaboratively with the community, engage with people, so it's a much more sort of immersive thing, and it's a conversation between us and the people that are going to experience the work when it's finished.
We have found, when we've spoken to people about what they're grateful for, that although the stories are deeply personal, actually the making is a way of being able to talk about those things. We often find this with workshops that we run, that when you have a physical making activity, you're then somehow able to verbalise what you couldn't previously verbalise.
Yeah.
And we don't ask in this commission that people share what that is, but somehow through the making, there's that desire to have that conversation. And so, although those conversations are private and in the final installation they won't be visible, they are there.
They're explicit
They are
by
there.
by their making, yeah.
They are something that happened. They're something that somebody thought, and so with each votive, there's a tremendous significance to somebody. Ultimately, those people who participated didn't necessarily meet, but they're in the same artwork, answering the same question: what are you grateful for? So there's this lovely community of gratefulness in this form.
This is one of 14 projects that were funded through the National Lottery Heritage Fund and other supporters to engage people with the heritage of the cathedral. I think one of the really nice things is the huge numbers of different types of people that have engaged, and people have come in, and quite a lot of people have said that it's the first time they've been in the cathedral, and to see that their artwork is here and looking so beautiful, it's a real treasure actually.
Oh my, how's it been, Neil?
Well, this is, I was going to say this is the conclusion of the project that we've been working on, but it's not really, because we always feel like our projects, when they come to an end, are beginning. So, this has been a very profound project in terms of its impact on people. But it has that history, of course, which makes it really, really
it's weighted in
grounded.
History. Yeah,
grounded
that's right.
to this place that we're sitting in.
Yeah. I think what was really nice is the space was populated with the objects that represented the thank yous. So we knew we were making that. That's the installation. And then just as we opened the doors and people started walking in, you then had this gathering of people around the work looking at it, all people who contributed and had made something, trying to find their own piece and finding each other at the same time, that was really beautiful to watch, wasn't it?
We had a relatively late idea to add the banners into the installation,
With
which
the
have
text.
quotations on,
Yeah, that's right.
saying what people are grateful for. And actually, I knew that would be interesting, but I didn't know it would move people quite so much.
It's been the most amazing afternoon. I can't tell you. Right from the start of actually just being invited to do the votives to start with, and I realised mine was around my daughter who had died when she was nearly 4, and I chose a heart, and I just wanted merely to put her initials on it, RSP, and it was very, very simple for me, but it was quite a profound moment, I have to say. It really, really was. I can't tell you the feeling. It was just amazing, and for me it's a means of it's acknowledgement, I think, from a little soul that died when she was nearly 4 and was never really acknowledged. Has meant the world to me, and to see those words that finally I think she's had acknowledgement, and that was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I thank you enormously.
The way that we hung the installation was as if they were bees, you know, this whole idea of the beeswax and the connection between the way a hive works.
There's a togetherness, and there's a difference. So if you do a thing together, which all these people had, even though they might have done it in different places at different times, they all knew when they were next to each other that they were a part of a much bigger thing, and they could see the much bigger thing in front of them, so it's manifest outside of themselves. That's quite a powerful thing, because lots of people have feelings and thoughts that are inarticulate, difficult to express.
So actually today, we've had people talking to other people about their stories and what they were giving thanks for.
Exactly.
So it's almost like the project is sort of breeding within itself.
This project has consistently, hasn't it, included people and involved people in making a moment where they've reflected on what they're thankful for, and by doing that changed the way they've thought. And that's happened again today. Everyone who's come to me and spoken about it said, I feel changed by today, again, even though I felt changed by making one. So it's like another layer of change, and that's really beautiful as well. And all from that little 550-year-old wax hollow sculpture that was discovered
there's
here.
our starting point.
That was the beginning, and here we are now with 1,000 amazing reflections.